So far, a beautiful day for racing. This is how the morning began with a view from our eyes in the sky. And down below at the start line just about an hour ago, the 20th annual Denver Colfax Marathon got underway. Good luck to everyone. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for starting your Sunday morning with us. I'm Shalima Maharaj. Of course, Marathon Day in the city and the Denver Colfax Marathon well underway. We're going to bring you live coverage of that all morning long. Let's take another look outside right now over some of the runners who are just giving it their all right now. And we're going to get things over to our 9 News Weather Impact Team meteorologist Jaden Knowles in just a moment. With that gorgeous view out there, we got to know what's on tap for everybody out there. But first, getting around downtown Denver today could be very tricky. And that is, of course, because we've got all those marathoners out there. So here's what you need to know ahead of today's jam-packed schedule. Road closures between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m. depending on which part of the city you're in. I-25 will be open all day along with most of Colorado Boulevard. Southbound on Colorado Boulevard from 19th to 17th will be closed. Kipling and all roads west of Kipling will also be open. Meanwhile, organizers are suggesting that you stay south of Colfax and north of 29th Street. For a better idea of where to go, maybe where to steer clear of, the Colfax Marathon organizers offer this map. The course is represented in blue, and you won't be able to cross the course, of course, during the race. Roads will be opening and closing on a rolling basis. The marathon also says that drivers should avoid driving in the pink areas that you see highlighted if you want to avoid those road closures. And of course, if you're driving out there, you definitely do. All right, we're going to send things over to 9 News meteorologist Jaden Knowles. And I know, Jaden, today, obviously, it looks nice right now, but the weather's going to become a little more unsettled as we get further into the day.
Yeah, that's right. You know, some of those runners might even run into some rain here in the next couple of hours or so. We're going to time everything out for you. So far, though, looking outside on the radar, you can see that we did see a little bit of snowfall for our northern mountains and even some storms moving through parts of Fort Collins. Those storms are now starting to weaken, and they're moving up towards parts of Wyoming there. But temperatures right now, I mean, perfect conditions for starting that Colfax Marathon, this morning. So temperatures in the low 50s. We're at 56 degrees here in downtown Denver, 54 over towards Centennial. The next 12 hours, really not warming up a whole lot. Yesterday, we got up to the low 80s. Today, I only have the upper 60s in my forecast. 69 degrees to be exact here at DIA is my official forecast for today. And then we are tracking some severe storms. Very similar setup to what we saw just yesterday. Noticing level 2 risk for portions of the eastern portions of Colorado, Lyman, parts of Sterling, and then also further out towards Burlington, you have that level 3 risk. Majority of us across the Front Range over towards the western slope, we are in that level 1 risk. So we're going to time this out for you and tell you all the details that you need to know later on in the show. Shalima?
Thanks so much for that, Jaden. Well, we are learning more about a grass fire that sent a large plume of smoke into the air over Adams County yesterday. Crews responded to the Colorado Air and Spaceport at around 2 p.m. Officials with Bennett Watkins Fire Rescue say the fire grew to 640 acres and was contained just before 4 p.m. Now, there were no evacuations and no one was reported to be hurt. Now, no structures were threatened. Well, a block in downtown Denver that holds generations of Japanese American history is now asking the city for help. Sakura Square leaders say the property needs major repairs and they are seeking public funding to preserve it as a cultural anchor. The Sakura Foundation has applied for funding through Denver's Downtown Development Authority, asking for about $30 million to begin rebuilding parts of the block, including the temple, community center, and plaza area. Now, the area's last redevelopment dates back more than 5 decades. Once part of a larger Japanese business district, they're now hoping the city will help fund the redevelopment of one of the last physical pieces of Denver's historic Japantown.
Our cultural entity is going to be dying if, we don't get the funding that we need to help us repair some of the major items that needs to be done.
Now, the city says Sakura Square's application is still under review. Well, Denver's Sun Valley neighborhood has spent the last decade navigating demolition and redevelopment. And last night, residents took a moment to celebrate what has never changed. The annual Viaduct Night Market returned to Sun Valley Saturday night, drawing residents and visitors under the Colfax Viaduct for food, music, and culture. The neighborhood is one of Denver's most diverse, with residents speaking more than 30 languages from 5 continents. But it's also one of Colorado's lowest income areas and has been going through some major changes, with the Denver Housing Authority redeveloping the neighborhood's original public housing over the last decade. With the Broncos now exploring a move away from Empower Field, residents say that they hope whatever comes next is good for the community that's already there.
We're tripling the population and the density here, so it has to be a really intentional building of this community that celebrates and brings in everyone.
Now, organizers say they plan to keep the night market going as an annual tradition, calling it a yearly reminder that Sun Valley's heartbeat has always been its people.